Good day, everybody. This is Chris of the Ancient Scholar, and today is a completely different kind of video that I'm going to be doing. And this is more of a video on what I like to do on my time off, and this is really nice because I've been sick with the flu all week. This is a terrible, terrible week, just feeling horrible. And yesterday I started kind of turn the corner, started feeling well, and this afternoon I'm feeling reasonably decent. And my voice is still a little, my sinus is still kind of clogged up, and my throat is sore a little bit. But, you know, I'm doing pretty good. So I thought I'd come out and do a little hiking, or attempt to do a little hiking. We'll see how that goes. And it's doubly beautiful because we had our first rain of the year, which is actually, it's kind of unusual that we get rain at all this time of the year down here. So that's kind of unusual. So it's really nice and cool. It's only in the mid-70s, very little rain, or very little wind, excuse me. You see you still have some clouds. There's still a few storms here and there, and may even get a little rain on us today, which is okay. So just kind of uncharacteristic for this time of the year down here, but it's beautiful nonetheless. And I thought, what the heck? In addition to that, I figured I'd do something completely different, and I thought, you know, there are a lot of people that review equipment and stuff like that, and so what I thought I'd do is I would do a review on a pair of pants that I've just recently come across. The sun's coming out. This is actually a gift certificate that I received over my birthday, oh boy, a month or so ago. And so I put it to good use and bought a pair of pants, and these are what I'm wearing today. I kind of have a nice gray motif going on, I suppose, in appreciation of the gray weather that we have, because it's such a unique and novel thing down here. But anyway, let me back up so the pants can kind of come into view here. These are manufactured from what's known as 511. These are the 511, they are like a tactical kind of pants. These are called the Stryke Flex Tack pants. These are the Storm, I believe this is the Storm. And I'll talk a little bit about them here as we move as I go throughout my hike. I'll stop and talk a little about them and do a little hiking and a little this, a little that. I should say that there are plenty of people that do lots of reviews that are probably much better qualified than I am. I did wear tactical pants for a while when I was working as a contractor in Afghanistan, but I wasn't, I wasn't a personal security detail. I wasn't doing any secret squirrel stuff. It was primarily, almost all of what I was doing was medical and taking care of patients and flying and going to remote clinics and things like that. So certainly I have some ideas about quote-unquote tactical work pants, whatever you want to call them. But I figured I'd do a good hike in these and see how they work, and just kind of tell you what I think. I did wear the original, the older, the first generations of the 511 tactical pants in Afghanistan that had the kind of the heavy cotton canvas material. They had the little the ubiquitous little a strap there in the back. I guess that's for dragging somebody out if they're injured. I don't know. It looked kind of silly to me, and so it's nice to see pants that look more like pants. So we will just talk about those as we go along. So let's get on to hiking. Up an old road. It goes to one of the two major trails out here, and this road used to be active back in the I believe the 50s and 60s, and they've since blocked it off for at least a couple decades now. And so the only way to access this road is by foot, but this road takes you up. As you can see, we're heading up to a proper trailhead, one of the two trails here in the Spring Canyon area. So that's where we're headed, and I'll do another little video when we get to the trailhead. So I kind of lied. What I did is I actually went off the road and decided to see how these pants work, heading up the side of one of these mountains here in the Spring Canyon area. I wouldn't normally recommend doing this if you don't know the area very well. I've lived here for well over a decade, so I know the area really well. So getting lost is not a big issue. And actually right down there is the old road I came off of, and that old road goes up there to where the proper trailhead is. And then down here there's the main road, and the main road goes up, and it's actually, there's a parking lot, a little parking lot, several little parking areas with little shelters where you can sit and eat, have lunch or what have you. But behind this this ridge line here, right about there, behind there is where the little parking lot, and then that is the major trail, they call the Lover's Leap Trail, that actually goes up Spring Canyon proper, if you will, and this is kind of a side trail. These are the two major. So I'm not on any specific trail. I just went off-road just to see how the pants are doing, and they seem to be working real well. There's a little panoramic of Cook's Peak way off in the distance there. Beautiful, beautiful clouds. This is very novel down here. Generally, it's blue skies 300 days a year, so it's a pretty novel day when we get some clouds. I got Cook's Peak, and then to the right of Cook's Peak, way off in the distance. I don't know how that'll turn up on this specific video. I'm just kind of ad-libbing it on my iPhone here. You can maybe make out the Black Range of the Gila Wilderness, and the more Black Range to the left, and then just as where so there's this peak here right in front of us, and then there's another peak right here to the left of it, and there's a little indent between the two, a little saddle here. Just before you get to that second peak, you can kind of see some mountains there off in the distance, just to the right of this second peak here. Those are called the Burrow Mountains. So we're looking off toward Deming, and way off in the distance you have Bayard and Silver City. So this direction here is straight south, kind of off in this direction, and then more or less north is in this direction here, and then kind of west is in this direction, and then east is right up here. So I'm pretty well oriented direction wise. Anyway, so that's that. I figured I'd talk a little bit about the pants. So the pants seem to be working really good. These use the ubiquitous ripstop fabric, which is kind of a light, and you guys are probably very familiar with it. This is kind of a really light material, so it dries pretty quick. Ripstop. So we'll talk a little bit about what I really like about these little side pockets here. There's one here and there's one here. These side pockets on a lot of pants have like little flaps, and they just look silly to me. So it's kind of nice just to have a little opening. I understand you don't want stuff falling out or whatever, but again, you know, I'm not wearing these for their tactical, quote-unquote, nature. The side pockets here are really nice. There's a really cool little area here where it's kind of reinforced and squared, so you can put a knife in there. And the really nice thing is I can still insert my hand into my pocket without getting it caught on a knife. And this is a pretty large knife. I suppose you could also, if you wanted, you could put your knife here like that. That would work as well. This fits a cell phone real nicely. It's not going to fit a big old phablet phone, but an iPhone fits in there real nicely. When you're driving, though, this tends to ride up just a little bit, and it's really hard to access your phone when you're driving, so I don't know what kind of utility that would have. The cargo pockets are really nice. You have one on each side, and the cargo pockets, I don't know how well you can see it, but they have dividers, 2 dividers in them, and you could easily fit probably a 20-round AR, 2 20-round AR magazines in there. 30-round might stick out a little much. You might not be able to close it. There's no way you could get AK mags in there. You could probably store pistol magazines. I actually have a Glock 34 And the Glock 34 magazines don't, they actually are covered up completely, so you actually have to kind of get your hand in there to pull them out. So it'll store them. I just don't know how efficient it is as far as getting them out. And obviously I would probably be, if I had magazines, I'd put them here. Again, I'm not like a huge huge gun guy or anything like that. So there are probably other people you could talk to or other videos you could look at for that kind of perspective. Okay, so I'm probably gonna head back down, and we'll meet up with the trail, and maybe we'll do a quick another video. All right, guys. Yeah, so we've reached the trailhead proper, and some really dark clouds coming in, a little bit of thunder. Forecast is about a 30% chance of rain, which is reasonably good down here. But because I've already walked so far to get up here, I think I'm going to continue hiking, even if I do get rained on. Simply because, I'm going to get, if I get rained on now, it's going to be, a good 20 minutes of getting soaked. So if I'm going to get soaked, well, hell, I might as well enjoy it. What the heck? I can pretend I'm 20 years old and in the Army again, since I'm wearing tactical pants. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Just a little bit of rain we got last night and this morning is really causing the cacti around here to bloom out, and that's just beautiful. We didn't get enough moisture over the monsoon season for the poppies to bloom, which is just exceptionally beautiful when they bloom. And the ocotillo are starting to bloom as well. And they, if anyone knows what ocotillo is, it's actually not. It looks like a cactus. It's actually not. It's called a succulent, which is a plant that it's kind of long, and it can kind of store water in its veins, slightly differently than a cactus, proper cactus. Useless knowledge there, right? But anyway, the ocotillo are starting to bloom, and they bloom a brilliant red and orange flowers, and you can get fields of them. They're just brilliantly bloomed. Not as many in this particular area where I'm hiking down toward Las Cruces, up in the Las Cruces A mountain area. Some beautiful open fields of the ocotillo, and maybe next week I'll do some filming for you guys there. But that's beautiful. All right, let's see how wet we can get. I've got a life-proof case on my phone, so hopefully if I do get rained on, my phone will be sufficiently protected. We'll see how that works out. All right, see you guys on the next stop. The trail a little bit here, and figured I'd give you another quick view. I haven't been rained on yet, but the clouds are looking awfully dark. So pants seem to be holding up really well. One thing I really like about these, and I'll see if I can show you guys, I have a telescope, a telescoping waistband, so that allows them to really stretch. It's really comfortable. Oh, hey, the sun's out for a little bit. Cool. So it really helps them stretch. So when I bend over, it kind of stretches, and the material is just maybe a little more stretchy than I'm used to. So that's really nice. It's really comfortable, really accommodating. So so far I'm really liking these as far as hiking around in them, and I'm sure they'll be fine for general use. And even when I run EMS calls, not that I do much of that anymore, I'm sure they will be they'll work fine for that as well. Oh, hey, a few drops of rain are hitting me. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head down. I haven't summited, I haven't taken the trail to its end yet, but I'm going to try to head down, and I'm going to try to get to that other trail, to the Lover's Leap Trail, and take that a little bit. And there's a little more opportunity for some flowers on that one, because it actually follows down into the canyon. You may even see some pools of water. So I'm going to try to do that. We'll see how the weather, so far it's holding out, and just a few drops here and there. So I'll see what I can do. All right, guys, we'll see you next time around. Scenery out here, it's beautiful. I figured I'd hike just a little bit and try to hold this the best I can. Just to, hopefully you guys can take in just some of the gorgeous scenery. There we go. Those are the Little Florida Mountains that you're looking at there. And then I'm in the Florida's proper, if you will. And man, a little bit of thunder there. Oh, that's so cool. All right, guys, it's getting kind of steep here, so I need both my hands. We're back down on the main road, heading further into the park. And that major dark cell that I was a little worried about missed us, and it kind of went more east, which is unsurprising because the general directions of the winds tend to be out of the west to the east. However, if that cell was perhaps a bit further north, it would have hit us. But there doesn't appear to be a whole lot of virga. Virga is just kind of if you look at a storm from a distance, you can kind of tell that the rain is falling down. And one of the terms for that is virga. And I don't see any virga coming from that, so I don't know that we would have gotten significant precipitation. So we're just hiking up the road here, and on our way to this other trailhead, which is going to be up here a little ways. I generally have a year pass to all the New Mexico state parks, but my wife has the car, and she's actually off hiking somewhere in Arizona, and she wasn't sure I'd be feeling real well today. She's doing some pretty hardcore hiking, so I don't know that I would have been up to that. So she's got the car, but we got the year pass in, so I had to hike into the park. Otherwise, I'd have to stop and pay and get a pass and put it on my car for a day. So I just walked into the park. It's not a big deal. So we got to hike our way up to the old trailhead, but that's all right because I kind of need to. Feels kind of good to get a little bit of physical activity since I've been, other than just crawling into work, doing what I have to do, going home and laying down on the couch. I haven't been particularly active, so I'll probably need this. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next stop. We've made it to the Lover's Leap trailhead, so now we're gonna head up, do a little hiking into Spring Canyon itself, and we'll see you guys when we get to the canyon. So I'm out on the trail here, going up Spring Canyon, and you can actually see we've got some virga off in the distance and some louder thunder from here, so that may increase the chances of me getting soaked yet. And I'll be sure to shoot some video if that happens. But I'm gonna go up the trail a little ways anyway, at least up until where it splits, and you can hike up into the canyon, up in the bottom of the canyon itself, or you can hike parallel to the canyon and you can summit. You can actually go all the way up and summit at the box, which is probably not something I'm going to be able to do today due to time constraints. They close the park at about 4, and they generally get concerned there are still people here after that, because we have had some incidents in where people have gotten lost or stuck out here and they had to get rescued. So I don't want to be in the park after 4 and cause a ruckus. So I have to cut things short. It's hard to believe it. I've been here, let's see, almost 2 hours now, and having a heck of a time, good time. So we'll see how things go. So, taking the trail that leads into the canyon itself, where it opens, and And sometimes if we get enough rain and moisture, we'll have running water. And it looks like there was water in here fairly recently. It looks fairly moist, but oh, here we go. We got a little puddle of water, and it's definitely real green back here. We'll see. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's starting to rain, and I've got ways to go to get down. So if the rain picks up, there's a good chance I might get a bit soaked. So that's good. I'll put these pants through their paces and see how they perform in a variety of conditions. So it's actually kind of nice that I actually, you know, not just do, you know, stand in front of a camera in a house and talk about them, actually be outside and see how they do, and actually just to be outside, period. Wonderful thing. So so we'll see if I can make it without getting soaked. Probably that's going to be left up to chance more than anything. So we'll see you guys down the main road, and now I got to hike out of the park, which could take a little while. Still sprinkling a little bit, but you know, it's not a total soak fest. You can see, you know, the water pretty much is beating off of the pants, and most pants now kind of have that hydrophobic coating. I think it pretty much gets washed off after a few wash and dry cycles, but it works while it's new. So I don't know if the rain's going to pick up or not. It's picked up a little bit. The cool thing is I got these little shelters every so often, so I suppose I could take the coward's way out and duck into one of those shelters if the rain gets really hard, and I figure I probably will. You know, I'm not 20 years old anymore. I'm not even 30 years old anymore. So I figure, you know, I don't have a whole heck of a lot to prove at this point. Maybe I do, I don't know, but I don't know that I'll be too incredibly a machismo about jumping in there to keep myself from getting soaked. We'll see. So now it's just a matter of hiking out of the park, and I'll get back to my vehicle and maybe just kind of do a little wrap up. So we'll see you guys down there. So heading out of the park, got my vehicle down there. And the rain's picked up a bit, but it's not too bad, so I didn't get totally soaked. So what's the verdict? So we're what, a couple of hours of hiking, some, you know, reasonably rugged terrain, some rain and dust and whatnot. They're really comfortable. So the pros, they're really comfortable. They're super light. They fit really well. I like the pockets. I like the overall design. It's very convenient, handy to use. I really enjoy the color. The only con that I can see, well, the only con that I can see is that they're a little pricey. I think they're about $70, which seems a little pricey to me. Seems a little pricey to me for a pair of pants. I know that, you know, they're definitely much more expensive pants, but I'll probably, I mean, this is, I said this is more of a gift, but I may actually buy a pair on my own, and maybe in a different color, and because these are just exceptionally comfortable, really nice to hike in. So, you know, with that said, yeah, so far so good. So I think what I'm going to do, sorry guys, I'm trying to get my walking poles into the back of the car here, with one hand. So with that said, I think I'm feeling pretty decent. So tomorrow, my wife will get back in real late tonight, and I think tomorrow we will look at doing a hike up in the Gila, since I'm done with my classes and tomorrow's Easter Sunday, so the college, you know, the work is closed, so we should have a good day to hike, and the weather's supposed to be decent. We may head up to the Gila, and if that's the case, I'll wear these guys again, and we'll do another continuing review. And more than anything, I just love being outside and kind of filming this, so that's really all I have to say. So yeah, thumbs up for the pants, and thumbs up for this beautiful weather that we're having. I'm loving this rain. It's just quite novel down here this time of the year. It's really cool. All right, guys. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Something completely off the wall, off the cuff, if you will. But still enjoyable for me nonetheless. All right, as always, thanks for hanging in there, guys.